Hello, good evening. Happy evening to you, Lynn. I see you are the first one here. You were here 5 minutes early. I was running around doing stuff, getting finishing the dishwasher and all that happy stuff that you do after work. Okay. How do you like my shirt today? I'll stand up and show you. First Amendment. We all know what it is. Very appropriate. Here we go. And of course, this is a 3XL. So it's so big. These shirts, my political shirts, my religious shirts, they're not cheap. So yeah, I don't care. I don't care if I look like a bag or if I feel like I'm stuffed into a bag. It's all good. Let's start with today's mail, shall we? I hope you're not stuck with just me today. No, it's saying that there's two people, so I don't know who the other person is. Yesterday, I had a, let's call it to be polite, a drive-by. And I forget the name, drummer something or other. And it was a picture of a man. And yeah, I keep it open to everybody because you never know. You never know who's going to want to be interested in my spiel. Let's go through the mail today. Is it junk mail or is it real mail? I think this is real mail. This is addressed to my husband, and it's from a health solutions company in Madison, Wisconsin. And now you can belong to the Y. Medicare alone doesn't provide 100% coverage. That's what the back is. So I'll get to open it because I'm not opening his mail. It's a federal offense, even though you're married to them. They can't open up your mail. They shouldn't open up your mail. And I'm not opening up his crap mail. But I can open up mine. This is my Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield bill statement. It's not really a bill. I think I told you guys earlier that I was already maxed out for the year, but that's what surgery does to you. Okay, now I'm going to start showing the comments because I know Lynn liked that. So here goes. This is Lynn's first comment. And then Lynn says she hopes she's not stuck with me. Well, that wouldn't be a bad thing, Lynn. I enjoy your company, as do I. To Josephine. Hi, Josephine. I just love the fact that we get people around the world. So welcome, ladies. And of course, Lynn is saying, hello, Josephine. And Josephine says, I made it home with 20 minutes, LOL, trying to cool down. It's hot and it's only spring. Oh, that's right. In Australia, you guys just came off of winter and we're going into fall, winter, etc., etc. We have a lot of leaves down in our forest, a lot of leaves. Let's see. Lynn said, another comment for Lynn. We can't have you going to jail over a little mail, Jerry. Yeah, I know. Oh, I gotta show you this, guys. This comes with every statement that I get from my Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I'm not gonna read it. But there's many languages here. Spanish, Chinese, Vietnamese, you name it. There's all the languages. And it talks about your bill in all the languages. So there you go. Every language you can imagine, there's your language, and the explanation of we're here for you in many languages. The law requires us to include a message in all of these different languages. Did you know that the law requires that? I didn't know that, but I always get it. I taught it. So what do we have a bill here for today? My physical therapy bill. And it's showing that one, two, three, four, five times in the month of August, because this is my in-network benefits and my covered services, 5 times the physical therapy it costs would have cost, or on paper it costs $420. With all my discounts, which is $236.41, due to my doctor, I've already been maxed out, so I have nothing. And Anthem Blue Cross paid everything, so I own nothing. So in essence, this is just a statement. I have to giggle when some of the Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare bills my husband gets. It'll say, for example, surgery costs, I don't know, let's just say $75,000. And then the write-offs. And then they say, and oh, and then you, by the way, you owe us $1,000. Okay. And of course, they have to mention here, you don't pay your discount amount. This is the benefit to using the doctors and the facilities in one of our plans. So bully for me. Yeah, you ain't kidding there, Lynn. Thank goodness for insurance. Seriously. Seriously. Insurance, health insurance, you need it. So now I'll be looking at soon retirement, getting the benefits, getting a secondary insurance. Here's a lab bill. Ooh, lab bill, $655 for lab tests that I had done. Now next week, I have 3 more diagnostic appointments that I have to do. And these lab bills, holy cannoli, $655 for the big blood draw. More physical therapy. Drugs. Here's a drug charge here. It says the hospital charged $217 and Anthem paid $185. But I don't have to pay anything because I've maxed out. Well, you pay 0, and here's how it breaks down. And then they break it all down. Lovely. I had a colonoscopy. They're calling it on paper here a surgery abdominal. So the colonoscopy charge, surgery abdominal, there's 2 charges. 27th, yeah, same date. Both charges, one was $3,821, one was $2,985 for a whopping total of $6,806. All covered by Anthem, nothing out of my pocket, just the anesthesia to knock me out, $1904. But that's a good thing. Knock me out, but keep me alive. And if I want to appeal, well, this is my appeal rights. So the different languages in my appeal rights that trash, this bill gets saved. I always share it with the physical therapy that I go to because they said we never see the bills on our end. We always wonder what gets covered and what doesn't, and how much each individual insurance company charges. Okay, Lynn got a comment here. Here we go, Lynn. People complain about Medicare, but I'm happy with it. They pay for everything after the deductible. No complaints here. I hear you. I know that there's different plans, and my husband's more versed in that because he gets that. I'll be getting mine once I retire. Michael, hello, Michael's Adventures with the picture of the raccoon. Hello, Michael, how are you? How are things in Canada? How's your weather? Lynn saying hello to you, Michael. And of course, Michael is reciprocating. Good to these little tricks. Okay, that's that bill. What's this should have here? This is my husband's important plan information. Ooh, so he got two. I got one. Breakdown of the bill. That's good. Tomorrow's Jack's birthday. Ask me what I bought him for his birthday gifts. Ah, it's here. It's here. Not opened. And I bought him 2 gallons of milk. And you're 76 years old. What do you need, right? You have everything. Ask me how many cars we have. I don't want to answer. I like the comments too. I do. Here, Josephine. Wow, I don't get sick. And when I hurt myself, I deal with it. Even if I cut myself, once I went to base with a deep cut and they said it will heal. I'm like stitches, no, took over a month to heal. Listen, 2 weeks ago, we had this health company that comes in, does our blood draws, weighs us, measures us, and does all the piddly little tests. So I do my blood draw every day to see what my ketones are, right? And see what my A1C is, my blood sugars, glucose, etc. That woman stabbed me so hard. It was about 4 hours into my shift, my Band-Aid came off. Stuff happens. I deal with lubricants and what have you. So the Band-Aid came off, and I'm bleeding like a stuffed pig all over the place. So I went to the supervisor. I said, it didn't get hurt. It was the blood draw that she did, that she pricked my finger. Well, apparently there were 7 of us that she just totally jabbed the living daylights out of us and bleeding profusely. We were still able to work, but it finally clotted over that night. When I got home, I did a tight tourniquet kind of bandage, so I wouldn't bleed all over my sheets and my mattress, etc. But how did she do a number on this? Okay, Josephine, here it was on my left hand. Left hand. It's this hand right here. Yeah, I like these comments. And if I would pay for this StreamYard service that I'm not paying for, this is the free version, thanks to Cindy, then I can always have the comments show on what they call stage. So I have to actually click on it to show the comments. And howdy, Michael. Josephine said, howdy, Michael. And he in turn said, hey, Josephine, how's Ladybug? She's fine. I took her potty. She should be okay. Let's keep our fingers crossed that she won't have an incident like she did yesterday with ants in her pants. Do you want to go outside? But I think she'll be fine. I have all of her dog food, ground beef, set for the weekend. All of her meals in the refrigerator so I can get to the studying for the kilts at the end of the exam. Jam the exam. It just has to be done because October is the end for us. But tons to study. And my head is just swollen with information. So Ladybug is well. She went potty. And now she went back to bed with Jack. So she's good. Yeah, I know, Josephine. There was something with that finger prick, let me tell you. Well, good grief, Charlie Brown. I never liked that. I mean, the finger prick and blood draws. It was the worst that I've ever had because, like I said, I normally do the one prick and then it's done. But she had to fill a square. I don't know, it had to have been like half an inch by half an inch square that she had to fill with blood. That had to dry for her to put into some detector machine thing to test the glucose. And I'm thinking, I don't deal with all that crap with my Keto Mojo. Frick, it reads 5 seconds, it's done. Yeah, so much drama. So much drama. So what do I want to talk about today? We're done with the mail. I want to talk about drugs. And I'm talking about the bad drugs, the illegal drugs. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I saw Charlie Sheen on several talk shows. I'm hearing him on talk shows. I never liked that. Oh, you never liked the comments on the screen. Sorry. Yeah, some people like it. I kind of like it. And I'll try to read them like Cindy does in case, like I do at work, I have the earbuds in. I can't read what's going on. So Cindy will read. Now, the little chitty chatty, I'll hide you, Michael. The little chitty chatty that goes on between people, she'll just say, people are saying hi to each other like old guy carnivore. He says, oh, they're all chatting amongst themselves. So back to Charlie Sheen. He has been on probably the last 2 weeks talking about his new book, and I think it's the name of his new book. Oh, here we go. I'm coming. Oops, sorry, Michael. Lynn, I have no idea how you have time to work, do classes, run a channel, etc. I don't even know either. It's all God. It's completely God's grace because I have dog hair, okay, and I have tons of dog hair, but I can only do so much. Jackson, pick up the vacuum cleaner. He's home by himself. And Thomas is here. Hello, Thomas. How are you? You never know who you will find on Carnivore. Hello, everyone. Hello, Thomas. Happy weekend. So exciting. I think I'll probably get more people on Fridays on the channel because like, I don't have to work this weekend. All I have to do is study. So I don't know about everybody else. So of course, Thomas, pardon me a second. Excuse me. Everybody's saying hello to Thomas. Oh yes, happy birthday, Thomas. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thomas. Happy birthday to you and many more. La la la. I hope you had a great birthday today, kiddo. Thomas, everybody's saying happy birthday to Thomas. And he's saying thank you. And Liz, yes, I've seen a couple interviews with Charlie Sheen. I read his book. I just love to read, period. I love to podcast. I do. I would probably be more apt to Audible, but I stopped that subscription because of school. I mean, I have to worry about school and getting all that reading in and all the KILT books and medical books and terminology and whoa, yeah, it's something. So I would, Lynn, sing happy birthday to you, Thomas. Thank you, Jerry. It is actually tomorrow in less than an hour. Whoa, well, happy early birthday to you. Happy early birthday. And Thomas says thank you to Lynn as well. And Charlie Sheen said that he has been clean for the last 8 years. And I remember when he, let's just call it, went off the deep end, when he literally tanked his reputation in the 2.5 Men show. That was always funny. It always made me laugh. The characters that they played there, funny. But when his nose was full of cocaine, he went a little nuts and he ruined himself. He admitted it on at least the podcast, and he's on these conservative podcasts too, speaking about his sickness, his addiction, shall we say, and he's been clean for 8 years, so kudos. So he was on Gutfeld. I listened on my way home from work, and he said something to the effect of, hey, ABC, I'm out here if you want a replacement, snicker. And then Greg Gutfeld said, "Whoa, that's competition for me. Not so good. Who do you think would be better? Greg Gutfeld against Charlie Sheen? That would be really funny." I mean, like, opposite ABC. Greg Gutfeld, I think, is number one now with all the talk shows. But the political jokes is too much. And I come from the generation of Ronald Reagan when they were teasing about how could you vote for an actor that played with a monkey. Gerald Ford, remember him always stumbling off of planes and tripping, and of course the family jokes about Jimmy Carter and the Peanuts and his whacked out Billy Beer, his brother. Yeah, those were funny. But Johnny Carson and Jay Leno had a way about themselves to do funny humor. This type of humor, like this Jimmy Kimmel malicious, look at, okay, here, look at the shirt. This says it all. I'm all for free speech. Say what you want to, but sometimes crossing that line, it's not funny, especially in light of the death. Now, I would say that too if it was Barack Obama or Joe Biden. If they would die and someone would mock them, not cool, not funny. Show respect for the people, show respect for the presidency, but that comedy, tone it down a whole bunch. Let's see what Thomas has got here. Thomas has got, you have 2 lives tomorrow and you're eating a ribeye. Now, Thomas, are you doing the lives or are people interviewing you on their channels for the lives? Lynn says, it sounds like a great plan. Yes, LOL. Cat, the chick that would just pop up like her. LOL. Thank you. And if I'm feeling good enough, Thomas says, I'm going to walk the full track 3 times. Wow. Listen, yesterday I did 5,050 steps, which is nothing in comparison to the 13,000 that Aaron does every day. You know what I mean? I'm an old woman. Aaron's a young chick. And Amy and all the people. I just don't do that. I don't have the time to do all that walking, let alone the whole hip shenanigans stuff. But I give you tons of credit, Thomas. Tons and tons of credit. Lynn says, you can do it, Thomas. Yeah, muscles. Thomas, do you take creatine like old guy carnivore does creatine and leucine? I haven't got the leucine yet from Amazon, but I take the creatine. Now, I didn't take it yesterday, creatine. Remember, I said Jack drank it by accident. I left it here. I had my double dose today. Feel fantastic. Feel awesome. The muscle cramping, sometimes spazziness that I can get in the back and the hip, not a problem today. Knock on wood. Thomas says, yes, I'm doing the lives first. And I am interviewing Russ Mitchell and the second party live. Oh, fantastic. What time are they? What time are your lives? You had hip surgery. Yeah, all those steps are good. I think I told you guys, somebody from the WhatsApp group that we have, when I did my little walker video going from the stairs, well, on the flat part of our patio, the back patio. The lake, I always say, is the front of the house, and the back is the back part of the house. And I was doing my walker, and somebody laughed at me. I thought, you little sassy person. It's, again, some people's humor, but I take everything personally. Thank God I'm not in charge of salvation, Lynn. I'm telling you, the attitude that I can convey. No, I don't. Thomas says, no, I don't. Thomas goes, my issue is the nerve pain from the amputation. Yes, they call it phantom pain, correct? And Thomas said here, oh, sorry about that. Hit it again, hit it twice. The first is 4 p.m. Eastern, and the second is 8 p.m. Eastern. What the heck? When do you have time to go and do something for your birthday? Earlier in the day? Are you doing something? Are you celebrating by yourself? Are you going out having some lunch for your birthday? My first job outside of college and studying physical therapy, I worked at a hospital in Milwaukee that was kitty corner from the children's hospital that I spent 6 months of my childhood in. So fond memories. Now, Children's Hospital is way out west still in Milwaukee County, but west on the grounds of where Froedtert Hospital, if you guys aren't familiar with Milwaukee, Froedtert Hospital, the old county hospital, children's hospitals out there, juvenile psychiatric hospital is out there for children. No, that is something else. Thomas wrote, no, that is something else. Okay. All during high school, I graduated in 79. I know Cindy was saying that she graduated in 76. That's when I was going into high school. And all those years, I didn't, not one time, do any drugs, didn't smoke any marijuana, none of that, never speed, didn't shoot up, etc. I went to an all-girls Catholic school. You know what I mean? They put the fear of God into you at school, but wanted to have healthy children, healthy childbirth. So that in itself scared me, but I'm a one and done mother. My son was born in 89, and that's enough. One and done. And I didn't have the desire that, you knew when you walked into parties and you could smell the marijuana. Sometimes people like patchouli oil, patchouli perfume. I don't like it. It's a big thing with people that do drugs. The smell of patchouli triggers me to think about those druggy people. Let's see here. Thomas wrote here. This is from where the nerves were cut and hits my back and hip. Phantom pain. Actually feel where my toes should be. Yes. So I worked in physical therapy back in the day before I started or joined forces with my, at the time, partner, soon was my husband, our ambulance business. So we had a ambulance business. We did medical examiner conveyances. We did wheelchair conveyances, ambulatory, and people in wheelchairs, taking people downstairs. Basically, we wanted our customers dead or alive. Literally, when you have a medical examiner contract, you have to be available to the Milwaukee County morgue. That's what it was called, medical examiner, 24/7. When they call you, you better run. And we paid our employees very well back in the day, and that was many years ago. But we wanted a higher caliber of individual employee that wouldn't be drinking, wouldn't be doing drugs, any of that would pick up the phone. They're on call, pick up the phone. Okay, I need you here. This is the address. Well, they had to come into the office, get the ambulance or our morgue wagon, and then go wherever the medical examiner wanted us to go. And they had to be there within an hour. That was part of the contract. We also worked for the Veterans Administration. We also worked for Title 19 when we took people in wheelchairs for doctor's appointments during the day, and people as a general payee would call us to say, I'm in a wheelchair. We want to go shopping to Target. Pick me up at my house, 123 Main Street, and take me to Target on 27 Layton Avenue. They'd go shopping. Sometimes the driver would wait there for them. Our driver would never go in to assist them. They usually went in by themselves, went in with a family member, a caregiver to do the shopping, and then we take them back home. So that was quite a job. I really enjoyed it. I like talking to the patients. I like getting out myself. I couldn't do it now, but I like getting out by myself into what we call the bubble vans and taking the people up the ramp, securing them down, locking, of course, their wheelchairs so they wouldn't go sliding all over the van, and then secure it with straps. And it was quite an ordeal. Very good, very profitable business. But I see the vans up here, and I watch some of the employers and the employees that do those conveyances now up at, like, if I'm at Mayo Clinic, nothing compared to what we used to do back in the day. We would have to sometimes, the VA guys, they'd have a VA daycare, for example. We would pick them up according to a schedule. You pick up Mr. Jones on 1st Street, Mr. Smith on 15th Street, Mrs. Thomas on 22nd Street, everything in a row, take them all to the VA, drop them all off for their VA daycare, because that's what their spouses wanted them to do, to associate with their own peers, the guys and girls that served our country. And then at 3 o'clock, when they were done with the VA care, then we'd get them back in the van, take them all back, 22nd Street, 15th Street, 6th Street, 1st Street, et cetera, et cetera. Nice thing. I loved working for the Veterans Administration. Loved it. But man, I could tell you stories between working in physical medicine and back in the day in physical therapy. We would do debridements where they would be amputations or diabetics with the sores, and you put them in the whirlpools and you'd have to debride their skin. Now they don't do that anymore. Everything's a surgical intervention. There is no more physical therapy whirlpools or no more burn treatments, no more Hubbard tanks, the big, they look like big figure eight tanks that people go in on a cot and get conveyed in and put into a Hubbard tank with the whirlpool jets all over them. Those are a thing of the past. No more. And no more debridements or any of that. Well, they were showing that it was breeding infection more than they just stopped it. And to be frank with you, it's probably a whole lot better for the patient to do a surgical intervention than it is the whirlpool, putting on the lotions and slathering them on, and the betadine treatments, and wow, stuff. Lots of stuff that we had to do. So Charlie Sheen, looking at him today, because I had him on TV when I got home to see what he looked like. He looked really good. He looks the same. I mean, I didn't stare and spend time at the TV, but he comes from, I think, good stock. Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, that's his brother, his dad, they all look the same. And unless he had some work done in the last 8 years, I don't know. But now that he's clean in comparison to the mugshots of him that was years ago, and seeing him now, his eyes are bright. He's just alive. He's a different person. And of course, he's hawking for employment, no doubt, writing this book He's doing the big tour, doing all of the interviews, but good for him, good for Charlie. I just didn't feel a need to want to be a part of that crowd. I mean, we went to cocaine was a thing back in my time. They're saying that it's having a comeback, but remember, I think Trump just blew up another boat today. And I'm saying that with all due respect because I, as an American citizen, am very glad that they're stopping by whatever means is necessary the conveyance of the drugs from wherever to the United States. Some people say it's Venezuela, could be Cuba, could be God only knows where. But I'm really surprised that the animal rights activists or the oceanic people or the people that love sea turtles and dolphins, you know what I mean, that they're not jumping up and down because you are killing the animals with all the drugs that they blew up in the ocean. And what about all the people that would have died with all the poundage of drugs? No common sense. Again, using common sense. Josephine's got a comment here. Hold on, we'll wait for them, Thomas. I think it's 6 a.m. here for your 4 p.m. Yes, yesterday, Josephine, when I was signing off, was I think it's at 2 o'clock by you, Joey, at 11 o'clock. I think you even chimed in that too. So yes, is your day is in the middle of your day right now, and I'm very glad that you'll be here. You'll be here for me for these. Well, you should be for the party. That'll be fun. Now wait a second, Thomas. You change your picture. You've got a different picture here. You've got the one that Amy created for you, your superhero picture. I love it. I think that the superheroes that you guys are all doing is wonderful. I'm waiting for the full length comedy uh, uh, version. There should be a little baby film. Speaking of that, you know, changed. Yes, you did. I see you changed. It's great. I like it. I like it a lot. Josephine says, I can remember yours, Jerry, at 1 p.m. every day. Easy to remember. Right. You could have lunch while watching me. I don't know. Do you eat lunch when you watch the live? Sometimes I do. Usually when I'm at work, I will have the lives on. So for example, I'll say hello. And of course Lynn's always chiming in saying hello, hello, hello. And I'm usually just eating, so I'm listening on the earbuds to these little things. Here, these orange earbuds that I wear at work. OSHA approved, of course, OSHA safety. And my lunch hour is only 20 minutes, so I'm usually scarfing down food, busy with my hands, etc., etc. So I don't do a lot of texting, but I'll hit the microphone and I'll talk. That's when it becomes discombobulated with the spelling or black barrel. It's from your shirt line. Excellent. And how many shirts do you have, Thomas? I have to check out your page and see your shirts. Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. Yes, so want to be here for that one, Thomas. Josephine says about Thomas's live. And Thomas, of course, said, cool, thank you, Josephine. And Josephine has, what's for dinner today, Josephine? Oops. Today you're having chicken pieces. Excellent. Today I had whatever leftovers I had in the refrigerator that I couldn't eat during the week. That there's a section in our refrigerator at work. I don't carry my lunch back and forth. Whatever's leftovers, I just put it in the refrigerator drawer, and I share a drawer with one of the other guys from second shift. So I got one side, and I had leftover eggs, Land O'Lakes butter balls, beef sticks, plain cottage cheese. I think I said cottage cheese plain. I don't do anything in there, no spices, no salt, none of that stuff. It's salty enough for me, at least. That is so true, Amy. Comes up with the best superhero characters, doesn't she? Gwen totally does. I said I wanted one too, and I wanted to. I gave her, I sent her an email, and I wanted to do something about burgers because, generally speaking, I'm always eating ground beef beef bowls, protein bowls, etc. But burgers, otherwise known as meat cookies, I sent her a little script, but she's really busy with her Dr. Berry school too. Both her and Dustin are doing that. So I'm totally respecting her and her time and the fact that it does cost her money, but ultimately I want to be able to pay for it, to obviously pay her back. I don't expect it for free at all, but I want one of those too. But did you notice all the superhero women? Close your ears, Thomas. Pay no attention. La 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 la. All the superhero women that Amy has all have big boobs. Just saying. Must be a carnivore thing. Must be the protein. Just saying. That's one thing I didn't lose. I mean, I lost the weight. I'm losing the gut. I've never carried it in my. I've always been carrying it in my gut, my midsection. I've always said that when I was fat, it was like I was a barrel with a head because my legs never carried the weight. I just carried it in midsection. And now I'm finally seeing with my own eyes that I actually have a figure other than me wearing these 3XL shirts to work, which I don't care. I don't care who sees me. I work with these people. I don't have to have them like me, like or dislike what they say. You know what I mean? Thomas says, I only sold one so far, and the hat. Yes, I like your hat. I like the American flag hat. Always liked it. Always liked it. Lisa Carnivore Whisperer bought them. Fabulous. I like Lisa, and I love listening to Lisa's story too. She has a good story. Who doesn't have a good story? That's what makes us all unique with this way of eating. We all have good stories. I just wanted to do something different other than talking every day from my car. I just want to wind down, do it for an hour, and then go to sleep. Josephine says, here, I have gone back to eating some veg, hoping to help my daughter to eat better. Absolutely. Does your daughter like vegetables as opposed to, say, doing carnivore, or has she done what we call the SAD diet? I know that you're in Australia, but Standard American Diet, SAD. And now coming over to the ketogenic way of eating, that's how I started too. The proper way, the way that without UPCs and without labels. As I drank my Equip strawberry shake, I told you that I put a scoop of the strawberry keto collagen in with the other Equip. More tolerable, but I'm not going to do that again. I actually bought the Equip. I started doing the Equip because I wanted to up the protein value for me, but no more strawberry. And the other strawberry that I had in the cabinet, I don't know. I'm telling you the truth here. I probably had it in my cabinet for a year, but it's still good. It's sealed. It's fine. It wasn't clumpy or disgusting or anything. So it's still good to me. Ooh, here we go. Amy's doing the drawing for another superhero this Sunday. Ooh, tell us more. Thomas, maybe Thomas knows. Thomas says, thank you, but a different hat, or a different hat other than the flag. Okay. I know the hat that you wear on your intro, I think that's what they call it. Thomas, do you use StreamYard when you go and do your lines? Thomas said that she bought the one that says Riblets. Yeah, that's your group. I need to come up with a cutesy name for my. Should we call you guys my woodland creatures? Middle of the frontier in the middle of her forest with all the woodland creatures. I don't like creatures. I like people. With all my woodland people. Josephine says, yes, she loves salad, but pizza and pasta, OMG. She eats a lot of that dog food. Now you sound like Rick. Has she ever tried, or you ever tried to make her carnivore pizza or ketovore pizza? In essence, whether you use ground beef, some people use canned chicken. I've made it with sausage and beef together and smooshed it in a pizza pan with very little sauce, very, very little, or an Alfredo sauce, and then of course cheese on top. So it looks like a pizza for all intents and purposes, but you're eating meat as a crust. You're not eating the duck food. I know when I go to a pizza buffet, which I still do, I will scrape off the tops of the pizza that they make. It's called Pizza Ranch here in the United States. Josephine, Lynn Thomas, do you have a Pizza Ranch in your neck of the woods? They have a buffet there. They have a salad bar, pizza, of course, any kind that you want. You can actually special order it, but they won't special order make one for me without crust because they need a basis by which something is supposed to be on pan. They won't just put the sauce and the cheese and the meat on top of a pan. They won't do that. So I'm okay if they do a thin crust and then put all the junk on top because I'm going to scrape it all off, throw the crust away, and eat the toppings. Yeah, it's cheese. Yes, I'll be inflamed for a day or two, but then I have my little pizza fix, and it's good. It's good, good, good. Not sure, Lynn. Thomas wrote, and Thomas said, oops, Daisy. Sometimes, but I usually use ENBUX. I've never heard of that. But again, I'm learning more and more about. I have a window open here. Close this window. Did you guys hear any background noise in the back of me? I realize I just closed the video now, or the window now, but I heard that there was a small little voice there, and get rid of that quick. Were your creatures, Lynn said. I'm still on a seafood diet. Not the sea, but visually see. Josephine, I tried one night, did it wrong, but I need to find a good recipe. Okay, let me tell you what I do. It's so simple. Take a pound of any type of red meat, meaning cow, beef, If you want to do venison, I don't do venison. It's a thing up here in northwestern Wisconsin, hunting and all that. Ground sausage. I probably wouldn't have the breakfast sausage just because it has a lot of the sage and breakfast type of seasonings. Italian sausage would be good. Take that, 1 pound. Take an egg or two, depending on how much binding that you want to add. If you have a meat that is less fat, you might want to use 2 eggs to make a binder. But I use 1 pound of ground beef, 1 egg, and about a half of a cup of a grated Parmesan, not the stuff in the green shaker, not that one, but if you shave Parmesan that way, the older it is, meaning aged, meaning more dry, mix it all up. You can probably put about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, maybe a pinch of red pepper flake, for example, salt, pepper to your taste and to your liking. Mix that together in a traditional pizza pan, I don't know, what, 12 inches around. Take all that meat and push it as far out to the edges, keeping everything as uniform as possible, the same thinness as you possibly can. Put that into the oven now of your 12-inch pan. Your 12-inch pan is going to be this big. Depending on the fat content that you have, Josie, it's going to shrink. So it will get smaller. At that point, if you want to add any red sauce after it's completely cooked, 350 for 20 minutes. That's how I do it. Then I would take it out and put, if you want a light slathering of any type of light tomato sauce or pizza sauce or pasta sauce, if you like the red, or you could do an Alfredo as well. Light coat of that, and then of course the usual pizza toppings that your daughter likes. If she likes vegetables, you might want to add the vegetables on top of there. But cheese is a definite mozzarella. The higher the fat content, I think the more it fills people up. Now, for me, when I make those, usually myself, Jack won't eat it, my husband, but I will probably have a third for my meal, a third of that 12-inch pizza for my meal. I'll take a third for work the next day, and then I'll have the third for my next meal or even my breakfast the next day after that. The longer it sits, the more the flavors meld together. So give that a shot. Tell me what you think. But there are carnivore or ketovore recipes out there, even if you want a chicken base pizza crust. There are crusts out there. Lynn, I just looked. It is on the 28th at 7 p.m. Lynn gave a thumbs up to Thomas. And then Josephine said, LOL, fast, right, Michael? I love seafood. I could live off of seafood. Me too. I noticed that I have some scallops from Butcher Box down in the freezer. So maybe in the next week, I'm going to thaw them out and eat those. I love seafood. I'll get Butcher Box seafood in the delivery. If I don't get the meat, I'll get the seafood. And it's in a light panko breading. That's what the husband likes. We call it fish fry here. So it's very, very tasty. And it's not farmed seafood. It's wild caught Alaskan or Gulf shrimp. You know, the made in America, American waters, shall we say. All too often, if you go to some stores, let's say Walmart, because everybody has a Walmart, but if you turn the package over, sometimes it will say made in China. Well, I put that down. I'm like, I don't want that stuff. they say it costs less to be sourced, let's say, for example, here in America, sent overseas on a ship to China to be processed and then sent back. To that, I go, ew. I would rather, like many of us here in this group, would rather find a local sourced butcher. We have tons of lakes up here. Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes, is right next door to us. I'm not a fisher person, but there's a lot of fish up here, crappie. And when we lived in Milwaukee, Lake Michigan was right there. Smelting is good. They're like little baby sardines. And that they did on the south side of Milwaukee in Lake Michigan. That was a thing throughout the nets and went smelting. So Michael says, see, not see. I know what you mean. See, I see. Here's an expression that I never understood. When people say, I see what you say. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. How can you see what I'm saying? Let that sink in. Oh, I think I saw you make that on one of your videos. Yes, I did. I did make that on one of my videos. I think I made it in the beef, bacon, butter, and egg. Because I made it with egg. I don't think I used cheese. I don't know. I probably did. But it was one of those where the beef, butter, bacon, and egg police yelled at me. If you know, you know. Snicker. We love her. We just love her. It is very tasty and it's very filling. You get fuller, more full, satiated faster with less food by making a meat crust pizza than you would a bread carby pizza. If you know, you know. You have tried, Josephine said, I tried chicken mince, not good. I don't care for it either. It's very dry. And I saw how people would make it. I don't know. I don't even know if Cindy ever did it when made a chicken crust pizza. I know that I think Paula did it. Who else? Hope. I think Hope did it for her husband, Andy. I think she did that. No, she makes a different crust because she found this cracker crust and she adapted it and made a pizza crust, and she swears by it. Hope and Andy, they love it. But chicken, I've eaten it before. It's just okay for me if I have the chicken when I make my protein salad and mix it with the mayonnaise that way. But to have it a pizza crust, I made it with thigh meat, but with white meat, bland. It's very, very dry, and you have to cook chicken thoroughly. So there you go. There you have it. Chicken mince is the police. Yeah, I love her too. She is so fun. Our little Cindy, she is our blessing. Chicken mince is ground chicken. Aldi sells it, in the ground turkey. We have a turkey store up here in Rice Lake. That's just north of us. And ground turkey's a thing up there right now. See, Josephine says, yes, it's like beef. Ground beef, but with chicken. Ground beef, yes. Absolutely. That is what it is. Well, folks, we're nearing that time. 30 seconds to the end of this live stream. I'm so glad that you all had joined today, tonight. Thank you very much. Just a little programming note. I will not be available on Monday. I have to wake up very early in the morning and get to the Mayo Clinic very early for a 6-hour test on Monday. So just a FYI to you that because I'm spending a lot of my early day at Mayo Clinic, I have to work overtime. So that'll cut into my live. So I won't be live on Monday. But I should resume our regularly scheduled programming on Tuesday, 10 o'clock. So far, fingers crossed that Mayo doesn't hijack me for some more shenanigans. You never know. Okay, Thomas is officially 53. Now we can sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thomas, officially 53. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. I don't sound so good. Michael says, take care. Bye, Michael. This hour went fast. Absolutely. Wasn't sure if I'd be awake for it. And you were here. Here you were with everybody else. There was 6 of us all here right now. Well, me and now 5 people. But probably Michael. Michael probably just left now. Beautiful sleep. Josephine says, sleep well, Jerry. I hope you have a beautiful day and night, and I hope you do as well too, Josephine. Thank you very much. Happy official birthday to Thomas, says Lynn. And Thomas, of course, says, thank you all. So thank you all for joining in on this live today. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous weekend. And Lynn says, you all have a great weekend. Thank you very much. Good chatting. Take care, everybody. God bless you. Pleasant dreams. And I will see you next week. Toodles for now.